When did you realize your tour guide was completely making it up? So I'm in Paris, first time abroad, right? I signed up for this authentic local walking tour because it had 5 stars and a photo of a guy in a beret holding a baguette. I thought, yeah, that's cultural. We get to the meeting spot. Tour guide shows up late, wearing Yeezys and a fanny pack that says Hustler. No clipboard, just a vape and a weird amount of confidence. He goes, all right, folks, welcome to the real Paris. I'm Jean-Luc, but call me Jay. We stopped by the Eiffel Tower, like the Eiffel Tower. And Jay goes, fun fact, this was originally built last year as a college art project. The French government liked it, so they kept it up. Someone in the group actually believed him and went, wow, I didn't know that. We keep walking and he starts throwing out random lies like the Mona Lisa was bought from OnlyFriends and printed out. Croissants were invented in Miami and traded with France for the Statue of Liberty. I try to fact check him discreetly on my phone, but I have no service. Then he takes us to this alleyway and goes, this is where Picasso invented jazz. Brother, we pass by a souvenir shop and he deadass says, this is the official Louis Vuitton outlet, all 100% authentic. He daps up the shop owner. It looked like they were best friends. I'm losing my mind in real time. I ask him where he studied history. He says, Joe Rogan clips. I'm about ready to fake an injury just to leave, but Jay claps his hands and says, next stop, the secret underground catacombs of Paris. Okay, that sounds kinda cool. We follow him for 25 minutes, through a back alley, down a staircase, into what turns out to be a subway station. At this point, I'm convinced we're either in a very niche prank show, or this guy genuinely thinks France is just one big TikTok trend. Jay hops over the gate, doesn't even have a ticket, and tells us, this part's optional if you're not ready for the spiritual part of the journey. Spiritual? He leads us to an empty platform and pulls out a speaker, plays lo-fi music, and says, this is where Napoleon came to meditate before battle. Someone actually starts crying. I think she's overwhelmed. Then Jay pulls out a Sharpie and draws a line on the floor. This marks the spot where Leonardo da Vinci sketched the original McDonald's logo before corporate ruined it. I look at the guy next to me. He looks back, dead serious, and goes, that makes sense. I always knew that logo was art. Eventually, Jay says, all right, folks, final stop. The sacred Parisian rooftop experience. Very exclusive, very Instagrammable. We're like, okay, rooftop bar? Eiffel view? Nope. He takes us up 4 flights of stairs in a random apartment building, literally knocks on someone's door, says tour, and they let us in. 10 of us are now standing in a stranger's living room, surrounded by laundry and a confused cat. Jay opens the window and points to the top of a chimney in the distance. That's the real Eiffel Tower. The other one's just for the tourists. I've lost the will to live. He ends the tour by handing out handwritten certificates of authenticity that just say you saw Paris, signed Jay, in gel pen. And the craziest part, everyone claps. People are tipping him. One girl says she's never felt more culturally enlightened. A guy asks if Jay does private tours in Rome. I'm standing there like I just watched a TED Talk on how to gaslight an entire group of adults. Moral of the story? Never trust a man in Yeezys with vape breath and a fanny pack that says hustler, especially if he says Picasso invented jazz. Because in the end, Jay didn't just rewrite history, he freestyled it.